Chosen one. Stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this. Something in the atmosphere around you shifted the second you pressed play, and I need you to feel it before I say another word. This is not a coincidence. This is not another video. This is me, and I have been waiting to say this to you plainly, without the veil, without the delay, without the noise you have been drowning in for so long. Before this word ends, you will know exactly why I chose this hour, this screen, this breath in your lungs to interrupt your silence. And there is a name I will speak over you before we finish. A name only I could know, because only I have watched what nobody else has seen. I want you to hear me, not the version of me you have been afraid of, not the distant echo you settled for when the answers stopped coming. Me. The one who has been in the quiet with you. The one who counted every night you cried yourself to sleep and refused to explain it to anyone. The one who watched you keep showing up in faith even when your prayers felt like they were bouncing off the ceiling. If this message is already touching something the world could not see in you, and you feel led to stand with this work, the Ko-fi link is quietly waiting in the description for anyone the Spirit is nudging. Now hear this carefully, my child. The miracle you have been begging me for is not late. It was never late. It was being crafted in a room you were not permitted to enter, because if you had seen what I was doing, you would have tried to help me build it, and it would have carried your fingerprints instead of mine. I did not withhold. I was weaving. And what I weave, no man can unravel. Stay with me, because there is a specific reason I locked the door behind you during your season of waiting, and I will not leave this word until you know exactly what it was. You thought you were being punished. You were being protected. You thought you were being ignored. You were being isolated so I could speak without the crowd rewriting my voice. You thought the silence meant I had turned my face. The silence was my face, pressed so close to yours that words could not fit between us. What you called abandonment was intimacy you did not yet have the eyes to recognize. And what you called delay was me removing every person, every offer, every counterfeit that would have arrived at your door disguised as the answer, but carrying a slow death inside it. Listen closely, because I am about to name something. There was a door I closed last year that you are still grieving. You are still asking me why. You still replay the conversation, the loss, the moment it slipped through your hands. My child, that door was not your miracle. That door was the test before the miracle. And you passed it, even when you thought your tears were proof that you had failed. Tears are not failure in my kingdom. Tears are ink. I have been writing your next chapter in the very thing you thought was breaking you. If your spirit is nodding right now, quietly like it, not for the algorithm, but as your yes to me. Let that like be a small altar between us tonight. And if you know someone else is carrying a hidden ache in a season that looks a lot like yours, share this with them, because there is another chosen one out there tonight waiting for the exact confirmation you are receiving right now. I said your miracle has arrived. I meant it. But I need you to understand something the enemy hoped you would never discover. Your miracle is not only a thing, it is a moment. It is a re-entry. It is a doorway back into the version of you that existed before the disappointment taught you to shrink. When I return what was taken, I do not return it in the same size it left. I return it multiplied, matured, and cleansed of everything that used to poison it in your hand. So do not brace yourself for a repeat. Brace yourself for a restoration you did not know how to ask for. Do not go back and rehearse the old story to make sense of the new one. Do not do it, my child, because the moment you do, you invite a spirit of comparison that will try to shrink what I am about to enlarge. And there is something else you have not been told yet about that old story. Something I kept hidden until you were strong enough to hear it without breaking. What you called your worst season was actually the season I trusted you the most. Only the ones I trust get placed in furnaces without an audience. Only the ones I am preparing for wait get pressed in private. Take a breath here with me. Let this land. And if this ministry has been a quiet companion in your hidden seasons, you can stand with the work through Ko-fi in the description whenever you feel led. That link is not a demand. It is simply a doorway for those who want to keep this voice going out to others, still waiting in the dark. Now let me show you something I have been waiting to show you. Do you remember Joseph? Not the coat, not the dreams, the forgotten years, the cupbearer who walked out of the prison and left him inside. 2 full years passed with Joseph living in a promise that looked postponed. Heaven was not silent in those 2 years. Heaven was arranging a famine, a pharaoh, a dream, a nation and a throne. Joseph did not need to be reminded that he was chosen. He needed to be shaped until the throne could not corrupt him. Chosen one, that has been you. You have been the Joseph of your bloodline, hidden in a prison that had your name carved into a throne on the other side of the wall. But I am not here only to remind you of Joseph. I am here to tell you the cupbearer moment has already begun. Somewhere in the last few weeks, a conversation happened that you were not part of. A name was spoken in a room you have never entered. A door was pried open in the spirit while you were sleeping, and heaven did not wake you because you needed the rest more than you needed the update. When you begin to see the movement in the natural, do not panic, do not shrink, do not question whether you deserve it. You have already been deemed ready. The verdict is in. Hear me plainly. What you thought was rejection was redirection with a scalpel. What you thought was pruning was engraving. What you thought was a closed womb, a closed business, a closed relationship, a closed prayer, was actually a sealed offering that I refused to release until it could return to you covered in glory instead of contamination. And there is one more layer I have not touched yet, and it changes how you will read the next 30 days of your life. The pressure you felt 3 nights ago, the heaviness that came without a reason, the tears that leaked out during an ordinary moment, that was not depression, that was labor. Something was being born in the unseen, and your spirit felt the contractions before your mind understood the delivery. Stop diagnosing what heaven is birthing. Stop apologizing for the wait. Wait is a sign of nearness. Glory has mass, my child, and you have been carrying it in a body that was still learning how to hold it. Comment I receive it if that sentence just found the place nobody else has been able to reach. And if this channel keeps meeting you in the exact rooms of your life that no one else knows about, subscribe and turn on the bell, because heaven is not speaking to you by accident and the confirmations are not finished. There is a rhythm to what I am releasing here, and I do not want you to miss the next word I send. Now here is where it deepens. The enemy did not fight you because you were weak. He fought you because he read your file. He saw the assignment. He saw the inheritance. He saw the generational chain that would snap the moment you stepped into your yes. So he sent delay dressed as destiny, and he sent counterfeits dressed as confirmation, hoping you would grab something early and disqualify the real thing. But you did not. Even when you were tired. Even when you did not know you were choosing rightly. You chose me by refusing what was not mine, and heaven noticed. If this word is genuinely carrying you tonight, and you feel led to help keep this ministry reaching others in the same silent battle, the Ko-Fi link below is there for anyone the Spirit is prompting. Comment what you are trusting me for in this next season. Not what you have lost. What you are trusting me for. Write it as a declaration, not a plea, because the wording of your prayer is about to change. You are not begging anymore. You are agreeing with what heaven has already ruled. Share this with the one you keep thinking about while I speak, because they were placed on your heart for a reason, and this is their confirmation traveling through you. Before I pray this over you, one more thing must be settled. The waiting is not just over. The waiting has been credited to you. Every hour you did not curse me. Every night you kept your worship on when the answer was off. Every moment you chose faith over evidence is being counted as deposit in the account of your next season. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from a fullness the enemy cannot audit. And if this message truly ministered to you tonight, and you feel led to give back, the Ko-Fi link is there for anyone who wants to support this work quietly. Now close your eyes with me. My child, I seal this word over you. I seal your mind against the replays. I seal your heart against the counterfeit offers that will test whether you truly heard me tonight. I seal your hands to receive only what has my fingerprints on it. And even as I seal this, I am loosing something in the atmosphere around your name that you will begin to notice within days, not years. I am naming you again, not by what happened to you, by what I placed inside you before the world had a chance to touch it. Rise, chosen one. Your miracle has arrived, and it knows your name. Amen.